turning up the pressure defense and making their run, easily winning at 79-60.
Yeah, they did a great job, and one of the big things for Billings is they were able to create a lot of turnovers outside of what they normally do, and they were able to get points off of turnovers. Billings is a team that loves to play zone, but they shoot very, very well, and it was very evident against Hayti on Thursday evening.
Salisbury won easily as well, and we'll talk more about this game, but right now let's throw it back to the fellas. Corey Riggs and Rich Zavosic that called the last ball game. Guys?
Thanks, Neil. We're here courtside now, getting ready to talk to the winning coach, Dan Bachmeyer. But, wow, Rich, a great performance today from Harrisburg. They led the whole way, and their senior, who's now getting a standing ovation, Chelsea Cruzy, did it all today for the Bulldogs.
Well, they got off to a great start, and then New Haven bounced back, but it was Chelsea Cruzy who, in the end, got the best of New Haven. She scored inside, she scored off the dribble, and then put the final touches at the foul line.
Yeah, she did an incredible job. New Haven has already received their trophy and their medals now, and they're going through the awards presentation. The cheerleaders giving all the medals to the Harrisburg Bulldogs, and this is the second championship for Coach Dan Bachmeyer. You think it ever gets old winning state championships?
Trust me, it never gets old winning state championships. And think about the job that he's done there. 114 wins already, a couple of state titles, 3 state championship game appearances. And I got to tell you this, his change of defenses in that fourth quarter when New Haven was making their run really turned the tide back for Harrisburg.
Well, and the press, you talked about it all game long. Their pressure, full court, they changed what they were doing, but they always pressed throughout the game, and that gave New Haven fits.
No, absolutely right. And, you know, their goal was to wear them down, and you looked at the New Haven team at the end, they were definitely worn out.
Yeah. Coach Bachmeyer in an interview said, I think my 9 or 10 will outlast your 5 or 6, and he wanted to prove that today, and he did. Just wave after wave coming off the bench and running the floor for the Bulldogs.
They certainly did, and an outstanding senior class. It was very well coached, and they executed to a T in the fourth quarter.
Yep, Heibel had a couple of huge threes. And now we're ready to go ahead and bring in Coach Dan Bachmeyer, the winning coach for the Harrisburg Bulldogs. And Coach, you got the game ball, you got your medal. Tell me, is this one any sweeter than the one in 2010?
It's a little bit more sweet because a lot of people I don't think thought I graduated 7 seniors last year that lost 1 game away from the Final Four again. And so we had a lot of new faces that never got to play a lot of varsity. But you know what, this team likes each other, they play hard, and they can play defense.
Coach, you got off to such a great start. You know, what was the key for that? Your defense or your offense?
Defense got us some fast breaks, got us going a little bit, and then we like to push it and try to get as many easy shots as we can. We're not the best half-court offensive team, but we like to get up and down from our defense, and it got us off to a fantastic start.
I thought when you made that change defensively in the second half and you changed your press just a little bit, it set New Haven back. And what did you tell your girls in the timeout at that point?
I wasn't so much worried about getting steals, but making it difficult for them to get into their offensive spots. I didn't want them to feel comfortable, and I don't think we can let them feel comfortable all night.
You know, it was a great team effort, and you guys were led by a very unselfish player in Chelsea Cruz. What has she meant to your program?
Well, you know, she was a starter on 2 years ago when we won it. She's been our all-state player 3 years in a row. And to be the leading scorer and have the most assists on the team tells you what type of kid she is. She's a special kid. Sometimes, for me, too unselfish. But tonight, I didn't think she was unselfish.
I tell you, she took the shots when she had them. She didn't force it. Just an outstanding effort.
I can't say enough. And, you know, we shortened our bench a little bit because of the TV timeouts. That helped us out a little bit, keep her on the floor a little bit longer. So it worked to our advantage.
Talk to us a little bit about one of your other players. Haley Hewer was just an incredible presence in the low post early.
Well, you know, and we stepped her out a lot because we wanted to get Cruzy the ball on the block. And I knew Haley had to hit some jumpers, and she can shoot jumpers out there because I knew Cruzy was going to be double, triple team. So and that was huge. But Haley had a great game.
Coach, I know it never gets old winning state titles, but you're going to build a new trophy case at home?
Hopefully. Maybe have some more down the line. Who knows?
Well, congratulations, Coach. It was a great game. Great for you and your Bulldogs. we'll go ahead and send it back over to Neil Harwell and Jim Powers as we get wrapped up here on the floor, guys.
Well, thank you, Corey, and congratulations to Coach Bachmeyer in Harrisburg. And I know you coach Jim, and you get that voice screamed out after a while, right? You just lose it.
End of February, beginning of March, it's gone. You might as well forget about it. But what a great job they did this year. And like he said, he graduated a bunch of kids from a state championship team 2 years ago and relied on a lot of his young kids to step up and get to this position and just did a fantastic job. Harrisburg, 2012, Class 2 state champions on the girls' side. Congratulations.
Absolutely. And Jim, we talked about Billings, so let's talk a little bit more about Salisbury and how they got here. They've had a lot of pressure on this season, been ranked number 1 for most of the season.
Yeah, they took over. They were the preseason number 1 in the coaches poll and really have done just a fantastic job. And Salisbury just loves to play basketball, and they love to get out and go and get in transition. In the district quarters, they beat Slater. Then they took care of Frederick, then Sturgeon, Tipton in the sectional, Cairo in the quarterfinal, and then a very talented Osceola team the other night, which a lot of people thought that game would be a little bit closer, but they came out just firing on all cylinders Thursday night, and that's why they are here coming back to the state championship game here this afternoon at Mizzou Arena.
Yeah, and Jim, both these two teams were a lot of fun to watch in the semifinals. They put the points on the board in a hurry. Each team scores over 70 points a game, and we'll take a break here from Mizzou Arena, the Class 2 Boys State Championship game coming right up.
Agents, what did we learn here today?
That lint balls are extremely flammable.
Well, yeah.
And that 15,000 dryer fires happen every year.
That's why it's important to regularly clean and inspect your vents.
Correct.
Where did you get that?
I built it.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Welcome back to the Class 2 Boys Championship game today. Neil Harwell, Jim Powers with you. And Jimmy, we talked about how fast these teams play, but I know you want to focus on the inside guys. Tell me about that a little bit.
These big boys can get up and down the floor too. We're going to talk a lot about transition and guard play for both these two clubs, but the big thing is going to be the post play for these two great teams. And they're big boys. They're going to have to get down the floor, but they love to work hard inside. We're going to see a lot of transition, especially secondary breaks. They're going to run their original break, get down. If they don't have the numbers, they're going to pull it back, and then they're going to look to dive right inside to the big guys. And Essex for Billings is going to be one of the keys that we're going to be talking to. And also Salisbury has got a couple great kids as well inside that we're going to be featuring as well. But the big thing is going to be inside play. Transition's going to get you points, but the big boys in the middle are going to have to take care of their business down low, and one of the big keys is going to be rebounding this afternoon.
All right, we'll look for that this afternoon, and let's talk about Billings just a little bit. Look at their sketchbook. They are the Wildcats, the blue and gold, and Kendall Tilley is the head coach at Billings. They were second place back in 2004, and Sophia is with Coach Kendall Tilley.
Billings head coach Kendall Tilley. Coach, in this first half of your semifinal, you shoot just 32%, but then you come out in the third quarter and put together a 16-2 run to advance here to the championship game. What did you like in that second half to advance here to the championship?
Well, I thought we just started shooting the ball a little bit better. We started taking it to the basket, getting some easy stuff, and then that kind of freed it up for us after that.
Austin Essick, Brady Chastain came up with big plays when you needed them. What do you need out of them today?
Well, we need the same effort. We've got a lot of guys that can score, and we just need those guys to be there when we need them, and to push these guys along and get over the hump.
How do you feel that you match up today with Salisbury?
Oh, it'll be a great game. They're a very good team, very athletic. I expect it to be a great game. Our guys are excited and ready to play.
What are the keys to the game for you guys to come out with the W here at the end?
Well, we're trying to start a little faster than we did the other day. Hopefully we can, make the adjustments early, figure out what we need to do to slow them down, and it's going to be what we do here in the first half that's going to decide the game.
Coach, well, good luck today.
Yes, thank you very much.
Coach Tilley and Billings looking for their first state title ever. And you know what? Salisbury looking for their first state title as well. And we'll take a look at their sketchbook. They are just up the road here, northwest of Columbia just a little bit. And they come on down into this matchup. We talked about they've been the number one team for most of the season, and there's been a little pressure that goes with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you're that number one team in the coaches poll, you've got that bullseye on your back. In Salisbury, ever since they lost back on February 4th, they've had it right there, and they want to get back to it. So, the sketchbook, they're the purple and gold. Enrollment of only 198 students. Kenny Wyatt is the head coach, and they were in third place back in 2005. They've been here before. They know the atmosphere. They know what it's all about.
And Coach Wyatt's been there a while. He's won over 300 games at Salisbury, and Sophia is with Coach Wyatt.
Here with Coach Kenny Wyatt of Salisbury. Coach, in your semifinal game, you fall behind 8-0, but you come back on an 18-0 run. How were you able to get back into that game and really run away with that one to make it here to the championship?
Well, I just think our kids, we got really with it in our full court press and our half court trap, and we got some easy baskets and kind of got the nerves out of the way and started putting the ball in the hole. Hit some outside shots that opened up our inside game, and we've relied a lot on our pressure, our full court press and our half court trap, because for us, we have really good athletic ability and move really well for our size.
What about the Wyatt twins? What's the key for another great game for them today? They really keyed the pace for you guys in the semifinal.
Well, they've been around basketball all their life. They sat on the bench with us when they were young. They sat down here in the Final Four before, so they understand how the game needs to be played, and obviously are a couple of our leaders on the floor, but we got a lot of other kids that know how to play basketball too. So, I just kind of think we need some people to play well. We don't have to play a perfect basketball game because that's probably not possible. So, as long as we play well, I think we'll have a good chance.
How do you feel that you match up with Billings here for the championship?
From an athletic standpoint, we match up fine. We're probably a little bigger. They probably got more people that can hit from the outside and put the ball on the floor and get to the basket. So they're going to create a challenge for us defensively. They're about as good an offensive team as we've seen. We're probably going to have to win, the battle, the points in the paint, and we're going to have to create a few easy buckets out of our pressure. And if we can do that, I think we'll have a chance at the end.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck today.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sophia and Coach Wyatt. He talked about those points in the paint, didn't he, Jim? Just like you were saying.
There's no doubt about it. When you get to a state championship game, Neil, the bottom line is you can run all over the court, you can shoot it, but your big kids got to take care of their business. And one of the things when I coached was very simple. My big kids got to work inside. I got to get 10 to 15 points a game from my bigs. Today, it's going to be very important, especially with the transition offense that these two teams love to run. The guards are going to have a little bit of pressure on them in the full court press, but you got to get down to low, get it to the block, and let your big kids work. Second chance points and points in the paint. Big stats we're going to be keying on throughout the afternoon.
Let's take a look at some of those guys for Billings. They like to go off the dribble. They can shoot from outside. They've got about 4 guys around the perimeter that are 6 foot. They can all shoot and get to the basket.
And they can play defense. They're going to steal. They're going to turn their defense into instant offense. And one of the keys to what we're going to be watching is Austin Essex, number 21. And we just saw right there, he loves to play D, but he is their player. He's scoring over 20 a game, 8 rebounds, 57 threes on the year for him. And he is one of those kids that loves to slash and get to the basket.
You know, a guy I really like is their point guard, Caleb Harder, 6 foot. He's a senior. He's been coming on very well lately, and he really handled the ball out front.
Caleb Harder is one of those kids. As a coach, he's a dream. You love watching because he's a leader out there on the floor. Able to run the point, get them in their offense, run their transition, but he can take it. If he gets that seam, he's breaking free. Now we look over on the other end, it's Salisbury. They're going to start and stop with Zachary Wyatt. 12 points a game, 5 rebounds, does it all for Salisbury, but also his brother's going to get into the mix as well. Austin Wyatt, 12 points a game. He's shooting 46 threes on the year, but once again, they love to get into that pressure defense, and they're going to set it up. Big kids, boy, I tell you what, this is a dream for these guys. You got a couple kids in Springer and Francis, 6 rebounds a game. Going to be a lot of fun.
And we pause for our national anthem.
The flag as the Elton Jazz Ensemble plays our national anthem.
Whoa. So our national anthem from Mizzou Arena, the Class II Boys State Championship game here in the Show Me Showdown. And we were looking a little bit at Salisbury there, and they are very athletic. And you heard Coach Wyatt talk about the athleticism of their team.
Yeah, they love to get and go. They're very well conditioned. And when we talk about this Salisbury team, they're coming in 30-1. They lost that game in early February, and that's refocused them. So we're going to talk a little bit about the bigs and their pressure defense. And here it is right here. Once again, able to go. They want to get it into Zach Wyatt's hands. He's the floor leader for this team, and he does such a great job. I know Kenny White, he wants that state championship, and he's got the team that's loaded to do it, especially inside. They got that inside-outside, especially sitting there. You got kids that can shoot it from all over. Austin Wyatt, 46 threes on the year. My man can flat-out shoot. It's going to be a lot of fun watching these kids get after it.
Oh, and how about Zach got up and got him a couple of dunks the other night. 3 dunks, as a matter of fact. He said, I hadn't dunked in a while, but it was feeling good in the semifinals the other night.
The great thing about small school, Neil, is you close the towns up. You make it to the state championship. Look at this crowd. Salisbury, you know what? Last person out of town, turn the lights off. We're going to Columbia to watch some state championship basketball, and it's been a great weekend here. Last weekend in the big schools, this weekend in the small schools. Great crowd support. It's awesome seeing the fans here to support these great student athletes.
There's that Billings road that we were talking about before, 28-3 on the season. The other night they beat Hayti 79-60 quite handily when they caused 24 turnovers on 9 steals, but there's how they made it through.
They did a great job starting in the districts, and they had back-to-back losses in late January, including a loss to the state runner-up in Class 5, Nixa, and they played that game relatively close for the most part early on, but they've done a great job in the district quarters versus Marionville. They took care of Spokane, Greenwood, Wheaton in a tough atmosphere, and then in the quarters against Norwood, and then they knocked off Hayti on Thursday night. Hayti is one of those teams down in the Boot Hill, and we're going to talk a lot about Boot Hill basketball, to where it's been really fun seeing the Boot Hill finally getting back to it in small school action, and Billings did a great job against a very talented Hayti's team.
Yeah, we'll see a couple of those teams later today from down in the Boot Hill when you talk about Scotts County Central and also Charleston and some teams like that. You're absolutely correct. And how about the introductions we get here? The kids, this is a huge moment for them. Anytime you can play in a state title game, what an opportunity.
It's outstanding, and Misha started doing this with the big atmosphere a couple years ago, and they've done a great job with it. They get the lights going, they get the music, the highlight packages, and then they just really get after it and have a lot of fun and make it special for these kids.
Let's toss it over to the public address announcer, and that's Keith Sampson.
Chad Yoakum. For the Panthers, a 6'6" senior, number 20, Chance Britt. For the Wildcats, a 6-foot senior, number 22, Connor Jenich. For the Panthers, a 5'11" senior, number 30, Jeremiah Jackson. At center for the Wildcats, a 6'1" junior, number 33, Brady Chastain. For the Panthers, a 6'5" junior, number 12, Austin Francis. At guard for the Wildcats, a 6-foot senior, number 14, Caleb Harder. For the Panthers, a 6'2" junior, number 10, Zach Wyatt. For the Wildcats, a 6-foot junior, number 21, Austin Essick. And for the Panthers, a 6'2" junior, number 14, Austin Wyatt. Head coach for the Billings Wildcats, Kendall Tilley. And for the Salisbury Panthers, Kenny Wyatt. The officials for this game are Jeff Schaefer, Bob Gardner, and Michael Markham. These
arena here in Columbia, and how good is that? Get those guys their introductions, all the fanfare, the folks are here from these small towns like you said. That's what's so fun. We take a look at those starting lineups and recap what you just saw. Harder, Essick, Yoakum, Jenish, and Chastain for Billings. Then it's Jackson, the Wyatt twins, Britt, and Francis for Salisbury.
Not going to surprise me if you're going to see Harder going against one of the Wyatt kids for Salisbury. That's going to be a great matchup. You're also going to see Essex stepping out. He's going to probably have to check Zach Wyatt. What a fun matchup that could be early on here. That's going to be the big thing, too, is watch the matchups, but also two teams that are going to jump into some zone looks as well.
Should be fun. Both teams average over 70 a game. There's Kendall Tilley, 14th year. Here is the head coach at Billings. The Wildcats are 28-3. They're looking for their first state title. And that's the assistant coach right there, Jason Haynes. But right to his right, head coach Kenny Wyatt. He's won over 300 games here at Salisbury. They're also looking for their first state title. And he played and went to school at Salisbury, so wouldn't that be a thrill if they were to pull it out here today? So we get ready for the Class 2 Boys State Championship game from Mizzou Arena. Glad to have you with us along our network across the state. Again, along with Jim Powers, this is Neil Harwell as we start this Class 2 State Championship game. And quickly, ball on the deck, stolen away by Billings.
Billings jumped into that zone defense right off the get-go, very active. That's a great thing that they're going to do, is they're going to get their hands in the passing lanes and make it very difficult to find those seams.
Here's Caleb Harder, and that's a three right out of the gate.
Caleb Harder, a kid that, once again, you cannot let him square his shoulders. If he does, he's going to knock it down.
So Billings right out And then a trap taken away down low. They steal it away. That's Yoakum that picked their pocket down low, and he'll just shape up out front. Look for these guys to go off the dribble, but they can also shoot it well. My goodness, that's Austin Essick.
Austin Essick is a young man we talked about in the open. He can knock it down from all over the floor. 57 threes heading into the state Final Four.
Down low on the baseline, shot no good there by Britt. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Salisbury. You know what, Jim? This is nothing new in the tournament. Salisbury was down 8-0 and then went on an 18-0 run to take control of that game in the semifinals.
They can get back into it very quickly. They've got to turn up the defensive pressure, but you've got to come out and defend. You cannot let them have open looks beyond the arc.
That zone defense there for Billings. They work their way, get it to Austin Francis. Shot is short, rebound there by Essick. So everything going right here early on for the Wildcats. We played about a minute and a half. There goes Harder, shaking them up in the lane and gets the roll.
Kenny Wyatt doing the smart thing. He does not want this to get out of hand early. He's going to get a 30-second timeout. Calm everybody down. They've had a couple empty possessions, but a lot of that is being caused by Billings' zone defense. They're just really active in it, really do some great jobs.
Let's go over to Sophia.
Catching up with Kenny Wyatt before the game and asked him about that slow start in the semifinal. He said that before this game, he was trying to tell his guys, hey, the first one to relax is usually the one that's going to win. He said when we throw that ball up in the air, it's another basketball game. So I think that's probably what he's addressing here at this timeout, that guys, the first team to relax here is going to come out on top.
Thanks, Sophia, and it's exactly the same scenario as the semifinals. They were down 8-0 in a heartbeat, took the timeout, and they ran off 18 straight.
I'm sure he just said, listen, let's not get into panic mode, a lot of time, let's work our offense. You've got to be patient, make the zone move, and look for the open shots.
On the move, this is Jackson, and a foul down low on Billings. This is the first team foul of the ball game for Billings, as they attack that zone defense, and they're going to put Jackson on the line, and that foul is called on Connor Jenish as he picks up his first personal. Jeremiah Jackson at the free throw line. He's a 5'11 senior, going to be a running back at Central Methodist next season, so he's a good football player for this Salisbury team, and they had an outstanding team, went undefeated regular season.
Yeah, there's a lot of these young men that we're going to talk about on both these clubs today. Multi-sport kids, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of them play football. For Billings, most of their kids play baseball, so it's a great mix. It's great activity for these young men.
There's one of them right there, Essick, that pulled the rebound. Up the floor quickly, and another three. Have mercy early on.
You've got to defend. You've got to step out, and that's going to be the big thing. You can't let them have clean looks out beyond the arc because they're deadly from out there.
And that was Yoakum that buried that one inside. Austin Francis missing the shot, and Essick out of the pack. Around his world, taking it down, and just put it in the crack as he took it in, and that turns it back over to Salisbury.
If I'm Coach Tilley right now, I'm telling my kids, we've got to look for the gaps. You know what? The dribble drive is going to be there, but we've got to attack gaps right now. If we don't do that, then we're not going to be able to get clean looks. And from beyond the arc, 3-3 and 0-0, guess what? You've got to get out and defend. When you knock down your first three trays from beyond the arc, it's got to be something you've got to address quickly.
It all looks good when it's going in, doesn't it?
No doubt about it.
From outside, that shot rings out for Austin Wyatt, and he's the guy that got him back into the ball game with some big clutch threes in the first quarter in the semifinals.
You know, the thing is, you're going to get that look, but sometimes you just want to work inside. Start inside and then work out.
Harder as they finally miss a shot from beyond the arc, but still lead it 11-0. From way downtown, rings out for Austin Wyatt. The battle is on for the board. Jackson comes away. Underneath the shot, and one for Francis.
Great work. You kept battling. You didn't give up. You didn't give in. You kept working hard down there, and that's where we were talking earlier about second chance points. You've got to get the boards. You've got to get those second chance points. What you've got to do in this situation when you're down 9, you've got to crash 4 guys to the board. One hangs back, but you got to have 4 white jerseys crashing the boards. Great job that time down.
Austin Francis short on the free throw, but Salisbury is on the board. 30-1 on the season for the Panthers. Billings 28-3 as they play here in the title game. And a turnover on Billings. And that time they kind of moved their pressure out a little bit.
What they're trying to do now is they're extending a little bit. They see that they got to defend the arc. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring that defense out, extend it, make it a little bit difficult for Billings to get good looks.
That was very effective against Osceola in the semifinals. Down low they work it. Shot missing Francis, but on the other side, the putback is there.
He misses the first one, but had great body position to seal, get the board, go up strong, and knock it down.
And here come the Panthers. A block by Francis. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Billings.
When you start getting some things happening for you on the offensive side that's positive, it's going to transition over to your defense, and you're going to get some positives there. And that's the big thing. He steps out. He gets the big block out of bounds, and that gets momentum starting to shift a little bit towards Salisbury.
They've scored 4 straight after trailing 11-0. Essick in the corner. Yoakum. He lost it. It was touched by Salisbury, so it will be Billings that keeps it from underneath their own hoop.
They're extending the defense out. I love what they're doing in that extension, but one thing they've got to watch out for, when they extend, they got to make sure the backside's covered because you've got a guard sitting out beyond the arc just like that.
Chastain from the parking lot. Another 3-ball for Billings. They're 4 out of 5 from beyond the arc. From outside, shot no good by Zach Wyatt. And the Wildcats on fire here at Mizzou Arena. And a traveling call. So they've turned it over a few times here early on, but so far the 3-ball is working. They extended, Jim, but man, who covers anybody out there where Brady Chastain shot it from?
And that's the thing. You're extending it, but you're still able. You've got kids that knock it down from all over the place. And the thing is, you've got 3 different players that have knocked down threes for Billings. It's like, okay, who do I guard right now? Nobody, they're all being able to knock them down. And when you're able to put 5 or 7 possessions together of scoring, you're doing something right in the interim.
There's the story so far, scoring on those 5 of 7 possessions, but hitting the 3-ball, actually 4 out of 6 right now for Billings, and that's why they lead it by 10. So they've come out with the haymaker right out of the gate. And again, this is something that Salisbury faced in the semifinals, and they came away winning by over 30. So this is nothing they haven't faced before.
No, they're used to this. They've been down this road, and it doesn't faze them. Yeah, bigger arena maybe, but in the semifinal the other night, they were down 8-0, and they come reeling back with an 18-0 run of their own. The big thing is, if I'm a coach, I'm going to just say, okay, we got some shots to fall. We've just got to get out and defend the arc. We know that they can shoot from beyond the arc. We know that they can knock them down. Let's get out. But then offensively, we've got to be patient. We're only down 10. We're not down 20 to where we've got to come down and start forcing threes all over the place. Let's work our offense. Let's be patient. Let's chip away at it. You don't have to get it all in the first 30 seconds or the first minute. Let's break it down quarter by quarter on what we need to do and how to break the deficit down.
The other thing they did when they started extending and got more full court pressure, that really turned up the heat. They got some steals, got some transition buckets, did Salisbury, and that one turns over to Billings.
Can't have empty possessions like that, and that's one thing for Salisbury. They've had too many of them early on. Turnovers are going to kill you, especially against Billings.
Oh, Harder getting another piece of the lane and scoring. Yeah, he's got a lot of quickness on the perimeter, and he showed us that all tournament long, and there he is with a flick and a steal right into the hands of Yoakum.
Yoakum, once again, great job. Able to sit there. They got the tip, knocked inside. Billings is just really doing a great job. Salisbury's got to attack more. You got to find gaps and attack those gaps and not, try to play that side-to-side ball.
Oh, what a steal by Eli Asbury that just checked in, and he's done a great job off the bench in this state tournament. There he is with the basketball, and the left-hander strokes one in right off the bench.
Gives them some great minutes when he comes in. That's exactly what you want him to do. He's getting about 19 minutes a game, but he's that spark off the bench, and that's what he's going to have to be for the Panthers right now.
Yoakum for 3!
I tell you what, I haven't seen this type of a shooting performance coming out of the gate in the high school level in many, many years. They are just coming out smoking.
Wyatt saves it. It's a horse game right now for the Wildcats of Billings. That one knocked out by Harder. And Salisbury just trying to kind of hang in there and deal with this onslaught.
They extended the defense out nicely, but once again, they didn't rotate over. If you're going to come out and guard the perimeter, you've got to rotate out, and they didn't do that time. And once again, Billings able to just set it up and knock it down.
Brady Francis also in the ball game now. That's in the corner now. Austin Wyatt off the glass, won't go. Rebound battled for, and coming away is Brady Francis. Dumps it to Asbury. Francis goes and gets it. Austin Francis with 6.
Great job again. They're working hard on the boards. They're especially the offensive side. They're getting those second chance points. That's what they've got to do. Keep staying the course on the boards.
Boy, they got to stay in front of Harder, though, as he gets down in the lane again. A foul down low going against Salisbury.
Doing a great job pounding inside. Asbury misses it, but coming up big is going to be Francis. Another rebound putback. And then down on the other end, Neil, they're extending defense. That's great. But once again, they're finding the gaps. And when you give a young man like Yoakum a little bit of a gap, he's going to be able to exploit it and take it straight to the basket.
He is a 39% three-point shooter on the season. He's 77% from the free throw line. Showing you why right there. He has 8 points in the ball game to lead the way for Billings. And they're out to a 13-point lead. Now again, it's been outside versus inside like you were talking about. Francis coming away with a half dozen. They go inside again. Look at him on the glass with Jackson. And a tied ball situation that goes over to Billings.
Yeah, it's been that inside-outside difference. You know, Salisbury likes to get it inside. They love to pound the boards and get their bigs involved. But when you've got a team that's shooting it as lights out as Billings is right now, you've got to come up with a different way to stem that tide and start to force it and flip it and get Billings to try and work it inside.
But even with the zone defense and stepping in, that is Meyer that misses the shot. They haven't been able to keep Harder from getting into the middle of it and kicking out. Here comes Jackson. Quickly goes to Asbury and back to Jackson. Jackson in the lane. Little jump shot goes. Jeremiah Jackson's first 2.
Great job by Billings. They're trying to overextend. They're gambling a little bit, and you can do that with the lead. But the great thing that Salisbury did that time is they got the shot that they wanted.
Austin Essick just ate him up off the dribble and pulled up from about the free throw line, and right back at you goes Zach Wyatt, but they wave it off.
Great job inside. That's one of the things that the officials talk about in their meetings, you know, that crash bang, and that's exactly what happens. He drove, he came down, and then went right into the young man from Billings, and they're going to call that push all the time. Great job by the officials, great positioning by Billings in their defense.
Approaching 20 seconds here in the first quarter. That foul on Zach Wyatt, his first. They have a trap out front, and then a foul call on one of the Wyatt twins out there. I think they got Zach for his second personal foul, that is.
Yeah, they're going to get him for number 2 on the reach around right there. He wasn't real happy with it, but they're going to go ahead and get him, and that's going to put him 2 fouls right now. And that's something you don't want to see going into the end of the first period.
Yeah, third team foul. There goes Harder again, kicking it out. Dawson Meyer now to Essick. That 3 won't go. Rebounded there by Austin Francis. They have time to work with. Jackson strolls in, and they count it.
Nice job coming all the way. You only had about 3 seconds, and that's about what it takes to get down the court in a hurry. And here he comes, takes it, lays it in right at the buzzer, and they're going to count it.
But, I mean, he's just strolling in, having a cappuccino here, man. He was not even bothered by the time he had to work with. Beats the buzzer, and that's a big hoop for Salisbury at the end of the quarter. And we'll take timeout. The Show Me Showdown 2012. Back after this.
That'll never happen.
I'll never wreck my car.
I'll never roll my truck. Never happen to me. Never. Never. Never.
Never happened to me.
7 out of 10 teenagers killed in Missouri traffic crashes were not wearing their seatbelts.
Never say never. Always buckle up.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online at PrepFilms.com. You make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Ears, check. Sunglasses, check. Seatbelt, check. What are you doing? I don't wear my seatbelt. Oh yeah, because only cool people will wear their seatbelts. I'm cool. Check.
Welcome back to the Show Me Showdown, Class 2 Boys State Championship game. Salisbury has the basketball. They just scored at the end of the quarter on the baseline. That shot is short there by Francis. Or actually, I think that was Austin Wyatt that took it up out of bounds, and it turns over to Billings. Billings came out on fire. There's the field goal situation, but the three line has been particularly good to them. 5 threes made in the first quarter. There goes Chastain off the glass, no, and Austin Francis high for the rebound. Knocked out. It goes over to Salisbury.
Doing a great job of defending right there. That was a great set for Salisbury defensively. They extended, they checked the shooters, and was able to step down and get some help on the shot. So you've got to continue that. Offensively, patience is the key right now.
High-low, Asbury goes down to Francis. And again, Jim, as you noted many times, they don't have a real answer for those big fellas inside.
No, I love the high-low. You know what? I would love to even see one more thing onto that high-low. Let's run a two-man game. Let's get the guard out, clear the side. Let's run a two-man game and see what we can get there. You know you can get it done inside, but now let's get it a little bit more exploited and work a different angle with it.
Now you may think Austin Francis just a big fella at 6'5", the junior, but he's the quarterback on the football team. So that's got to be a lot to contend with at the Class 2 level. And so out there right now, down low, they have the 6'6" Asbury and the 6'5" Francis against all these 6-footers for Billings. And they keep extending that defense. Seems like it gets farther and farther out as the game goes. Yoakum short on the 3-ball, and they're not falling the last few times.
Extended out. That time was almost a 1-2-2 half court to where they extended it, and here we go.
Steal by Harder ahead of the pack to Meyer.
Gotta love the defensive pressure. Salisbury's going to turn it up. Guess what? Billings, they're going to turn it up as well. So we're going to get to a point where we're going to see these teams going half-court at each other.
Jackson goes in. Asbury goes for the glass, and they call him for going over the back. And that'll be the 4th team foul on Salisbury and the first personal foul on Eli Asbury, the 6'6" junior.
Some young kids on both of these ball clubs that we're seeing showcased right now, and you got to love watching these kids get after. A little bit of frustration right there. Knew they didn't have good position and just got into his back a little bit. Got to get that step around and get that good offensive rebounding position.
You mentioned it young. It's not too far-fetched. There's another turnover on Billings to think that these two teams might be right back in this game next season. You need a lot of luck.
Yeah,
but definitely that's the case.
That's the big fun. That's the fun part about small school basketball here in the state of Missouri is you see a lot of these young kids year in and year out. And you see some of the usual teams that make it all the time, and especially when you talk about Billings.
That was Jackson that missed his shot, rebounded there by Essex.
Their conference, the Southwest Central League, they've had teams in the Final Four the last 3 or 4 years. Crane, a lot of those great teams, and so that's why it's really cool to see these kids get after it.
Oh, they worked it well and found Harder inside, and he has 9 points to lead the way now.
Salisbury just doesn't have an answer defensively right now. The big thing is they've got to score.
Shot missing there by Chance Britt that just checked in. He's another guy with some size at about 6'5", 6'6". Harder. Meyer stolen away by Austin Francis. And then a foul in the backcourt. This will be on Meyer.
That foul drives the coach nuts. 70 feet away, and you're going to do that. Nice job here. Step, kick down to the baseline. Nice drive, and he's able to put it up, but you can't foul 70 feet away, especially when you're 14 points ahead. You got to be a little bit smarter than that.
I could tell that one hurt you. You cringed over here. With the big fella as well was bringing the ball up. Not like he's going to break you down with the dribble.
Not at all.
Shot missing, but the rebound there for Yoakum. Up the floor, they work it. Brady Chastain kicks it back out high and around to Essex. And the threes not falling like they did to start the ball game. And here comes Brady Francis on the roll. The rebound chases on, and Essick comes away, but they throw it away. There is Austin Francis.
Grabbing the garbage right there, and Blues ball, able to come up with it. These teams are starting to turn it up a little bit. Billings has gone cold from the field. Salisbury's got to take advantage and make it hurt.
Across the way, they work it to Chastain. He missed the shot. And then out in transition, here comes Salisbury. They'll slow it down with Brady Francis. And now Wyatt is tripped. So Salisbury keeps after it here, and the good things are starting to happen for him here on the offensive end.
Yeah, look at them. They're just going at it. They get the ball there, but then a turnover, able to put it up strong. Like I said, if you continue to work, you're not down. You're not hanging your head. You're getting after it, and that's exactly what Salisbury is doing right now.
Austin Francis has 9 points here in the first half, averaging about 15 a game on the season. Zach Wyatt misses the three. Rebound taken away by Dawson Meyer, the sophomore. 1-on-3, but he doesn't care.
One of the big things that you got to look at is legs right now for both these teams. Both these teams' benches are very short. We don't see a lot of subs, and I think you're seeing that out of Salisbury a little bit.
Oh, great look from Austin Wyatt, taking it in. Chance Britt, guy that transferred in to Salisbury, play basketball this season here for the Panthers, and he'll go to the free throw line the other night in the semifinal game. 5 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of blocks, gives him some more size inside, but misses the free throw there.
Got to knock down your free throws, especially in this situation, trailing 14. That's a big key.
Missing 2 from the line, Britt, as we're inside 4 minutes to play. On the move, they kick it out to Chastain, and Brady Chastain spinning in the lane and drawing the foul.
Once again, what they're doing is they're doing a nice job in stopping the dribble drive down on the baseline. When they do that, they're rotating over. Guard's going to be open. That time they did a great job. They saw where the guard was, and they were able to get out and get a hand in his face. Able to drive down, got the foul.
Chastain misses the first. 69% on the season. He's a guy that shoots a lot of threes, but he can drive it, as he showed you right there. He gets to the free throw line. He's been there over 100 times this season, and we'll take time out. 30-15 here in the state title game. Billings on top here at Mizzou Arena. The Show Me Showdown. Back after this. This Misha State Championship game is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Welcome back to Mizzou Arena. 15-point lead for Billings. They have not let off the gas once they started hitting 3 balls in this one, but they've cooled off a little bit. They were 5 of 7 to start from the 3 line, 0 for 5 since.
But what they've done is they've taken it inside now. They're turning it over. They're not getting a 3-ball look, so they're now getting it inside and doing a lot of penetration.
Another steal, this one taken away by Yoakum. And that is turnover number 7 on Salisbury. And steal number 5 for Billings. Way out high is Essick. 5 points and 6 rebounds for Essick. Rebound on the weak side by Jenish, who just checked in. from outside, Meyer, and it rings home for Dawson Meyer.
Working hard, getting that second chance opportunity, and you're taking the lead with that, and you're not getting the shots that fall from the outside. You're going to work hard inside, and good things are going to happen.
Austin Francis missed the shot. Rebound taken away by Essick. That's rebound number 7, and if you're a team of mainly 6-footers, you have to really hit the glass hard, and that's what Essick has done. He turns it over here, though. Out of the pack comes Zach Wyatt. Oh, they worked it well for the slammer by Austin Francis.
That's the secondary break we talked about. They ran a sideline break, saw Essex coming down, and was able to find him coming through. And that's a great thing for Austin Francis. And when you see that, your eyes light up. Here comes the secondary break. Boom, man coming down. You can't stop that.
Now, you thought those guys worked it well together? Well, they grew up in the same house, still living together. Brady Francis to his brother Austin Francis. As they worked it well that time. Harder inside as fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line, much to the dismay of Coach Wyatt and those Salisbury fans.
I think what they were looking for is on the drive, he lost the ball, and it was actually one of those situations where it was a block. He was able to come up with the ball. It's not a travel, and he was able to dish it out.
Now, again, I like this guy at the free throw line, Mr. Harder, 6-foot senior. He's got a quick handle. He's a penetrator, good passer, and he's been getting a piece of the lane whenever he wants it, even with that zone defense. He's got 11 points now.
Well, he's at his average right now. He's averaging 11-9 a game, and he does it all. He does it from the inside, and he can do it from the outside as well.
Eli Asbury, shot no good. Rebound there by Dawson Meyer. Up the floor, Brady Chastain, and he'll back it out. Everybody on this team can go off the dribble from the perimeter. That's because they're all guards. Essick launching. Too strong that time. Weak side board by Austin Wyatt.
1-2-2 defense by Salisbury. They're starting to trap a little bit up top, trying to make something happen defensively.
Zach Wyatt drove in there, shot it with his right hand. He's a left-handed guy, and the shot missing from 3 by Brady Francis. And the rebound tracked by Billings, and they get a timeout. And we'll take it with them. Right now, it's a 34-17 lead for Billings. The Wildcats on top in the state title game. Both these teams like to get up and down, and the way they do that is with their defense, causing turnovers, getting steals, getting out in transition.
Big thing, 7 turnovers for Salisbury. Billings is able to convert into 12 points. That's a big key, and as a coach, you love looking at those superlative stats, as people call them, and when you can get 12 points off of turnovers, you're doing something right.
Foul in the backcourt. This one going against Austin Francis. And that is his first personal foul. And he plays a lot with foul trouble. He's been in foul trouble a lot this season. That's what happened the other night when Eli Asbury came in and did such a nice job off the bench. They're both in there right now. And Brady Chastain back to the free throw line.
One of the big things that Billings is doing right now, Neil, in talking with their head coach, Kendall Tilley, he said the big thing we need to do is tempo. We need to control tempo, and they're doing a great job in controlling the tempo right now. They're keeping it up. They're keeping the pace up. They're not doing anything they don't normally do, and that's right there. Their defense turns into offense.
Oh, Harder went right around him on the baseline for the lay-in.
They get that full court pressure, and once again, turnover, points off. That's what you love.
And Salisbury's only scored one field goal since 4:46, but there it is. Coming right back is Austin Francis. He's got 13. Harder 1-on-5, but he'll back it out this time. And then taken away by Wyatt. And they'll call a tied ball situation. Austin Wyatt took it away. That'll go back over to Billings.
Great job, and I love how they're starting to extend out, but here's a great move by Caleb Harder. And I know why you love that young man. He's got such a great first step on the baseline. He explodes coming off that dribble drive.
Well, he's been the quickest guy in both the games I've watched they've played in, to me. And there's a traveling call going against Billings, so that turns it back over to Salisbury.
I like Salisbury's philosophy defensively. What they're doing is they're running that 1-2-2, and they're extending and they're looking to trap. That's what you're going to have to do because you've got to think of a way to disrupt what Billings is doing to you.
Zach Wyatt takes him coast to coast and pulls up with a nice little jumper. He charged a time earlier when he did that.
Yeah, that's smart. He learned his lesson, and he learned it very well. That time he just pulled up and took the jumper, but here comes Billings in transition.
Right back at you with Dawson Meyer.
Just not an answer right now. I mean, Billings is doing everything that they need to do to lead this game at the half.
Austin Wyatt steps inside the three-line. The putback is there for Austin Francis.
I really like watching the big man in the middle, Francis, work. He just gets after it. He doesn't give up on a missed shot. He follows it and able to put it back in.
Don't blink because here they come. Hanging and drawing the foul is Chad Yoakum. Foul will be on Eli Asbury.
You got to think, okay, we're going to pull it out. We're going to try and run the more clock and get the last second shot. Oh, no. Billings, we're going right to the basket. We're going to keep doing what we do, and that's transition, fast break, points.
Now, I got to tell you, Jim, I like that a little bit because we watch these 35 to 32 bloodbaths a lot of time in high school ball. These two get it up and down, and it is really refreshing and fun to watch. They both score over 70 a game.
I like watching the fun games like this to where they get it up and down and they get their transition going, but I like those grinded out games. I'm sorry.
All right, buddy. Shot before the buzzer. They nearly got another look on the rebound by Brady Francis, but what a performance in this first half by Billings as they lead it by 18 and score 41 in the first half.
Wow. I mean, you're seeing what they do. They came out shooting extremely well, 4 or 6 to start the game from beyond the arc. They cooled down a little bit, but the biggest thing is they're keeping the defensive intensity up, and that's where they are just unbelievably just stifling Salisbury right now.
And Billings now leading at 41-23 at half, and let's toss it over to Sophia.
Neil here with Coach Tilley. Coach, you get off to a slow start in your semifinal, but not so today. At one point, you were 70% from beyond the arc. How were you able to establish the hot hand right away?
Well, that's what we've been stressing the last 2 days was if we get out to a hot start, put some pressure on them, make any adjustments we need to do, put ourselves in this position that we're in now, we get a good chance of winning today.
Definitely putting the pressure on Salisbury. You're giving their shooters a lot of trouble. The Wyatt twins combined have just 2 points. What are you doing defensively to give them so much trouble?
Well, we've got a good rotation in there to pressure the ball. We're giving up some stuff inside, but we're going to do that because we're not that big. So, we'll live with those as long as we can cut down on the transition baskets and the threes.
How do you keep up this momentum in the second half?
These guys, I don't have to worry about that. They'll be ready to play.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Sophia. Coach Tilley looking pretty confident right now, Jim. And, he told us yesterday when we talked to him that we haven't been shooting the ball very well lately, but could have fooled us out of the game.
No doubt about it. I mean, he says, we're not a very good shooting team right now. And I'm like, you knocked down 4 of the 6 first threes. Come on. I mean, this team's doing everything they need to do. And like I said, defensively, you're keeping the Wyatt twins, who's averaging nearly 25 between the two. They've only scored 2 points combined in the first half. They've got to keep up that defensive pressure. Confidence, absolutely, but you still got to come out. You still got to play the second half. They take care of their business. they're going to bring that first state championship back to Billings, and it's going to be awfully special for them.
And we know what that Salisbury team can do. In the semifinals, they really busted out in the second half and got it going. We'll see what happens here. We'll take a break at halftime at Mizzou Arena. Show Me Showdown 2012.
Distracted driving. It accounts for 25% of car crashes. Music, cell phones, food, the list goes on.
This is why safe driving is so important.
Correct.
And it's why the best agents help safe drivers get a lower rate.
Oh, exactly.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
41-23 here at halftime. Billings on top, and let's throw it back over to Sophia Menert. Sophia.
Neil standing by here with Greg Stahl, MSHSAA Assistant Executive Director, also in charge of the sport of tennis. And Greg, we have over 3,000 boys competing in tennis this spring, competing in 2 different classes. What are some of the highlights of the tennis season we can look forward to this spring?
Well, as with all of our activities, we end the season with the state championships, but leading up to that, we have a district-level championship as well as a sectional round that winds up determining who our state qualifiers are down at the Springfield area.
Those state qualifiers, they'll come over Memorial Day weekend to Springfield, to Cooper Tennis Complex. For both team and individual state, what can fans and participants look forward to in the state tennis tournament?
Well, first of all, we're really blessed to have such an outstanding facility to hold our tennis championships there at Cooper Complex in Springfield. There's 16 outdoor courts, as well as having 12 indoor courts. And in the case we have inclement weather, we can easily plan to come inside to keep the format, to keep the play going, and be able to start and finish in a good, timely manner. These kids are every bit as competitive as any other athlete that we have in our state. This is their niche. They love doing what they do, and it's just a good experience to watch those kids go out on the court and put it all out there.
All right, thank you, Greg, Neil, and Jim. We better get our tennis rackets strong and keep up with the boys here.
The weather's good. I like this time of year. Thanks, Sophia. Thanks, Greg. And it's 41-23 here at halftime in the state title game, Class 2 Boys State Championship.
Semifinals. The third place game.
Distracted driving. It accounts for 25% of car crashes. Music, cell phones, food, the list goes on.
This is why safe driving is so important.
Correct.
And it's why the best agents help safe drivers get a lower rate.
Oh, exactly.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
It's Billings on top in the Class 2 Boys State Championship game. They lead at 41-23 here at halftime. And again, they started out by hitting that 3 ball right out of the gate. They were on fire in this ball game. their points coming mostly from the outside and Salisbury's points mostly from the inside.
Yeah, without a doubt. And one of the big things that we're going to talk about here in our highlight package is, Salisbury working hard, doing some great things. As we go to that package and we come in, you see Salisbury just doing a lot of great things, getting some second chance opportunities, working hard, rebounds, and you got to love Francis on how he just works, causes a turnover, puts it back up and in, and then coming down on the break, they run that great sideline break, able to get brother to brother in there for the lay-in. And then now you look at Billings, and it's just a three-point barrage. 4 of 6 shooting to start the game from beyond the arc. One thing, though, they have not knocked down a three since the 10 minutes and 35 seconds. So they got to kind of find that long-range arsenal once again. But you know what, though? They're doing the other little things that you need to do. They're getting transition. They're scoring off of defense. And when you look right here, points off of turns, 14 points, you love that stat as a coach. You win that battle, you're doing some great things. The thing I like about Salisbury, and this is where they got to build on, is their second chance points. They got 8 second chance points. You've got to continue to build upon that. But when you come out 56% from the field in the first half of a state championship game, it doesn't get any better than that, and that's what Billings is doing so well right now. They're knocking down their shots. Salisbury's got to come up with an answer very quickly defensively. Won't surprise me. I know they don't like playing man-to-man. I'm a man-to-man guy, but you may have to look to come out man-to-man and see what you can do defensively just to shake it up a little bit.
Coach Tilley couldn't have scripted the start any better with that three-point barrage and getting out to that 11-0 lead. Another stat I noticed there was on the boards. Billings leads the board play here tonight, 20-16, and they're the short team. All these guys that are 6 feet tall against these 6'6", 6'5" guys.
It's all about position, and Billings is getting great inside position. It's when you coach and you've got post players, one of the big things that you teach is just position. Some of the teams I coached back in Ohio, we weren't the tallest in the world. We were short, but I taught my kids how to get good position, and that's what it is right now. In Billings, 20 rebounds to 16. They're leading the points in the paint 20-12, and that's turning around and getting over 40 points in the paint in the semifinals matchup. So that's what you got to do, and once again, it's all about position if you're Billings, and they're doing a great job. Those kids that are under 6 foot, you just love watching them because they're getting down and dirty, getting great position, and getting the boards.
And those down and dirty guys are also shooting it well from the outside.
No doubt about it.
And that's why they lead by 18 here at the half, shooting 56% in the state title game. Show Me Showdown 2012. Back right after this. And welcome back to the state championship game. Class 2 boys here at Mizzou Arena in Columbia, Missouri. And we throw it over to Sophia.
Coach Wyatt down 41-23. What did you tell your guys at half about getting back into this game defensively?
Well, we've got to stop them from getting to the hole, plus cover the outside shot. I mean, right now they're a complete basketball team. They're shooting the ball well from the perimeter, and they're hurting us on dribble penetration. But when you're down 18, you've got to get some defensive stops, and then hopefully the ball starts falling. We're not shooting the ball very well. We're letting that carry over to the defensive end and giving up too many easy baskets. So, we'll just play hard and try to get a few turnovers and some easy baskets and hope some shots fall, and we're going to have to get some stops.
Austin and Zach, just 2 points combined. How do you get them more touches here in the second half?
Well, I felt like they've had some decent shots and they haven't went down, so we'll just have to keep playing as a team. The worst thing you can do right now is one guy try to do too much, and then it'll really get out of hand. So we got some time. We'll keep playing as a team and hopefully get some turnovers defensively and try to get some easy buckets. And you're not shooting the ball well, one of the things you can hope for is to get to the free throw line, and we're not getting our guards to the free throw line, and we're only 1 for 7. Just terrible shooting first half.
All right, well, Coach, one guy who's doing a lot for you is Austin Francis. What can you say about his play in the first half?
Well, he's kept us. He's gave us the opportunity to at least have a prayer to come back. So, we thought we could have some success inside with our bigs, and he's done that. We just got to get some help from our guards.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Coach Kenny Wyatt, thanks, Sophia. And we talked about what they did in the semifinal game. I mean, they came out of the dressing room. They put the pressure on. They got going up and down, playing fast like they want to, got some dunks in transition. And that's a surefire way for them to get back in it.
That's what you've got to do is you've got to understand you still got 16 minutes of basketball. You're only down 18. So, yeah, and it sounds like a big number. What you want to do is you want to get to single digits by the end of the quarter. You've got to break it down into 2 quarters.
Oh, the work on the glass again by Austin Francis, who has 17. And here they are full court now, and Gailey, they get a steal. Up over the top goes Zach Wyatt. He's fouled before he takes it in there.
There's that switch up right there, coming out showing something new, something that you didn't show in the first half, and you've got to now make Billings make that adjustment. You get a great job working hard underneath once again by Francis. You get the quick turnover, you get the harm, you're going to the line to shoot the free throws, but now the big thing is you got to knock down the free throws, and they have not done that here in the game.
1 out of 8 for Salisbury. That is huge right now. And this is an 80% free throw shooter, and he rings 2 out, 1 out of 9. I mean, these guys are good free throw shooters when you talk about guys like Austin Wyatt, Zachary Wyatt. And there's another turnover.
Yeah, and Coach Tilley is not happy right now. He's telling his kids, we can't dribble to the side, and that's one of the cardinal rules. You see that extended 1-2-2 zone press. What's a trap zone? Sidelines. You got to rotate to the middle and keep the ball in the middle of the floor, and that's what Coach Tilley was telling his kids.
Jackson on the pull-up, the rebound on the weak side there by Yoakum. And they are right up in you now. That pressure has just gone from not any to a lot as the games progress for Salisbury, but there's a foul. It's going to be on Jackson.
They're hanging tough in that 1-2-2. They started it out just in the half court, extended it to the midline, and now they've taken it full court. They're trying to get Billings to disrupt and do some different things.
They knocked it out off of Harder and out of bounds, and so another quick turnover. 3 turnovers here just in the not even first minute of the second half.
Yeah, but you've had 2 empty possessions. You missed the 2 free throws, and then you get a turnover on your end. You've got to have possessions where you're scoring.
Oh, great work to Austin Francis and 1.
That is just outstanding. Unselfish basketball right there. He could have very well came down, turned and taken it up strong. He saw his brother sitting there wide open and got it into him. That's what you've got to continue doing and keep working.
Well, that was Chance Britt that tossed it right into Austin Francis. Completes the 3-point play. He has 20 points in this ball game. There's another steal by Zach Wyatt up to his twin brother Austin. 4-3! And what a start to the second half for the Panthers.
8-0 to start the half. We've seen this before. We've seen what Salisbury can do, and they do it by turning it up. They crank that defensive up. They get the pressure. 4 turnovers in 5 possessions. Unbelievable. Actually, 5 turnovers in all 5 possessions. That's just what you're talking about in here. Left them wide open, sets it, knocks it down. Here comes Salisbury. They're not done yet.
The only thing in the first half, Salisbury, they didn't shoot very well, 33%. So that's the other thing that happened. So to start shooting the ball well and getting that guy right there going, Austin Wyatt, will be big.
Yeah, you want to get Wyatt into the offense, and he's got to start scoring. He's your key. 12 points a game, averaging 85% from the line, 46 threes. Great timeout right there by Kendall Tilley, but it's got to be good for Salisbury because they've extended that defense now, and they're causing Billings to do some things that they just weren't comfortable in doing.
In fact, they have caused Billings to turn it over on all 5 possessions here in the second half. They're looking for more. They've got that pressure defense teed up here in the backcourt as Billings will trigger in. Chastain And it's stolen by Jackson. Up over the top and scoring.
Great transition right there. They went to a man. They jumped out of the 1-2-2 and went to a full 100-press man.
Another turnover. My goodness, 7 turnovers. We haven't even played a minute and a half here in the second half.
This is a great job, and I tell you what, I love what Kenny Wyatt did right there. He knew that they were going to make the adjustment versus the 1-2-2, and here comes the transition.
Steal by Essick, but a rip by Austin Wyatt down low, and it will stay with Billings.
Just to finish that thought, called the timeout and says, okay, we got to get ready for this 1-2-2. Okay, I'm going to play the chess game. I'm going to switch it to man.
Yoakum short on the 3 ball. Tipped out. Run down by Harder. And Harder tries to get between the defense. That's turnover number 8. Out ahead of the pack is Jackson. And a foul going on Austin Wyatt.
Billings is kind of hit panic mode right now. They're not seeing exactly what's in front of them. They're trying to create a little too much instead of taking a deep breath, relaxing, and running their press breaker, and then getting down the floor and handling the pressure. That's one of the big things you've got to do right now. You're going to see the full court coming at you. You've got to be patient, take that deep breath, and handle it. And that's what Coach Tilley's going to be talking to his kids about whenever he gets a chance. Let's relax. We got the lead. We got to go back and do what we did in the first half.
Jeremiah Jackson with 2 free throws, so that helps out from the line now, as they're now 4 for 12 after starting 1 for 9. And they're trapping again everywhere. Essick has it out front, and he calms the situation down a little bit, as Salisbury is on the attack mode. Toss it over here to Yoakum. Leaves it back, a 3 ball by Chastain, and he's fouled from beyond the arc. Fouled there by Austin Wyatt.
You've got everything going for you, and the last thing you want to do, we talk about foul 70 feet away from the hoop. You never want to foul the shooter on a 3 ball, because now either one or 2 things is going to happen. You're going to put him in the line to shoot 3 freebies, or he's going to make it, and he's going to get the and 1 for 4 points. So you got to really be careful defensively when you're out guarding, and especially trying to contest a 3-point shot.
And Brady Chastain misses the first 2 of 3. You know, he's been playing with an injured foot for quite a bit of this season, and they'll attend to that a little bit further, maybe with some surgery or something in the offseason. He wanted to make it all the way through, but he's been moving around pretty well to score almost 16 a game on the season.
Yeah, he's going to go in actually and get some work done, but he's really done a great job for it. Billings giving some great minutes, and Salisbury with it once again.
That was their first point of the second half. Austin Francis missing the shot. Yoakum the rebound. Letting them play here in the title game, and it's been fun to watch. Essick tries to dump down low, another turnover, scooped up there by Chance Britt. And then Billings is right on you in the backcourt after you come up with the steal.
And they're going to attend to Connor Jedish. He got up slow on the far end during that last possession. He's been shaking his head, and he came down, he got himself into the mix, and kind of just not sure exactly what's going on, but they're going to go ahead and they're going to attend to him. And, you know, one thing is you hate to do as an official is, you know, call the play dead, especially in transition.
Yeah, and Connor's a big leader on this team, a vocal leader. And Coach Tilley also calls him a calming influence. He'll sit down right now, the 6-foot senior. Here's Zach Wyatt working against the defense of Meyer. Oh, nice look down low. Going tough on the other side is Britt.
Doing a great job of passing and seeing the open man right now, and just really doing some neat things.
Harder in the lane. Dealing off Chastain on the pull-up from just inside the line. Rebound, Austin Francis. And here comes Zach Wyatt. Rebound is a long rebound to Yoakum. Around Britt, getting it to the rim, and he'll go to the line. Foul on Salisbury is their 3rd personal here in the second half.
Great job in attacking right there. They're going right after it, and right now that's what you've got to do if you're Billings. They've got to keep attacking the basket. They don't need to settle for threes. Work the offense, drive in, attack, go to the free throw line.
Chad Yoakum at the line has 9 points in the basketball game.
And coming out of the ball game here for a moment is going to be Austin Francis. He's got blood on his arm, so they're going to go ahead and get him out of the game, and they've got to address that. That's one of the big rules in high school basketball that the officials look for.
And I'm sure they're going to get him right back into the game as fast as possible. 20 points, 8 rebounds in the game so far for Austin Francis.
Now, one of the things, if you're Kenny White, I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to go ahead and sub in, but he can call a timeout and buy him back into the game. And you've seen some coaches do that. Hey, all right, well, I've got timeouts to burn. I'll take a 30. And that way I can keep him on the floor. But he feels confident in what he can do, and he's got some kids that can give him a couple minutes.
Yoakum now 4 of 5 from the line. Hit a couple of big early 3 balls, averaging almost 11 points a game on the season, over 3 rebounds and about 4 assists. Both these teams really pile up the assists with the way they play. Most of their field goals are on assists. In fact, Billings, 491 assists out of 565 field goals on this season.
They do a great job of distributing the basketball.
Salisbury much the same way. A steal by Billings, that time by Meyer.
Billings looking to do something they need to create. They have not made a field goal since 32 seconds left before the half.
A block down low. Salisbury, a couple guys got a piece. Britt jumps up to save that one and triggers out to Francis. Brady Francis. Rebound Harder.
Didn't have the numbers. Great to attack, but you've got to have the numbers. You can't go 1-on-4 against Billings.
How about that? Jump pass by Caleb Harder with 3 guys around him in the state title game. Not too nervous to throw that pass. We'll take time out here at Show Me Showdown 2012.
Agents, what did we learn here today?
That lint balls are extremely flammable.
Well, yeah.
And that 15,000 dryer fires happen every year.
That's why it's important to regularly clean and inspect your vents.
Correct.
Where did you get that?
I built it.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum.
Wow, Salisbury really came out with the pressure. They have now scored 22 points off turnovers. They've caused 9 turnovers on Billings in the second half.
Pressure defense. 1-2-2, extended it to the full court, able to cause some chaos down there, and then Billings calls a timeout to try to adjust. They come back out in a full court man, and it really made it difficult for Billings to get into their groove.
Essick around the defense and draws the foul.
Pressure defense, you're going to feast or famine with it. With the pressure defense means, yeah, you're going to get turnovers, but then it puts you into a very, very bad situation of fouling.
3 fouls now on Austin Wyatt. 4th team foul on Salisbury. There goes Harder. Nice little dump off. And the foul as Yoakum takes it up. Harder averages 4 assists a game on the season. He had 5 assists the other night in the semifinal game against Hayti, and back to the line is Yoakum.
They're trying to do everything that they did in the first half. They're just getting their shots contested now, and Billings just can't find an answer with a jump shot from the field. They've scored almost all of their points here in the quarter via the free throw line.
Yoakum now 7 of 8 from the line in the ball game. Trap in the backcourt, and a foul going on Billings.
You know what I think they're playing right now, Neil? Anything you can do, I can do better. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Salisbury turns it up. Billings is going to come right at it and turn it up again with their full court pressure.
Well, you don't back off of what you do now at this point in the season in the title game, and that's what these two teams do. They play fast. Here's Eli Asbury back in the game. Off to Zach Wyatt. Shot missing. Rebound battle for. Taken away Yoakum. And now Essick out of the pack. He went on his speed dribble, backed it up, and now finds Chastain. Hard off the glass as he tripped into the lane. Rebound Asbury. Up the floor, Austin Francis, and lost it out of bounds to Billings.
You talk about, you got to keep doing what you do. And with both these teams, you got to go with what got you there. And that's, we're going to up-tempo. We're going to keep going. We're going to put the pedal to the metal, and we're going to go. And that's what both teams are doing.
And it's really been more of a man-to-man press. And there's a foul on Zach Wyatt. 3 fouls now on each of the Wyatt twins.
Once again, we talk about, the feast-famine side of it. You could turn it up, but once again, when you turn it up, you run the risk of fouls, and just got in there, almost got the clean steal, just wasn't able to keep off the body.
Harder had it, blocked by Austin Francis. Here's Austin Wyatt, leaving it back Asbury. Zach Wyatt, too strong. Essick going high for the rebound. That is his 8th rebound of the game. Then Chastain, no good. Oh, tipped off the glass and in. Have mercy.
Are you kidding me? That is just unbelievable. Keeping the ball alive. Here comes the pass. Throws it up, but then tips it. And they're able to put it down. You want to know?
Hey, let's give him a pass.
Oh, my God.
An assist.
You got to give him something because Chad Yoakum actually kept that thing alive. He just tipped it up like a volleyball almost and was able to get it off the glass. And then sure enough, coming down and knocking it home is Dawson Meyer.
And Meyer completes the three-point play, and he now has 11 in the game. Jackson, Eli Asbury. Jackson goes for the rebound. Out of bounds, stays with Salisbury.
Right there is just one of those things where you just keep battling. And that's what you love about watching state championship games. Kids doing anything that they need to do to get the ball, get it in the hoop, and that's perfect example right there.
Neither team has really taken their foot off the gas. Out front, on the drive, Brady Francis. Jackson the rebound and the putback.
Once again, working hard, second chance opportunities right there for Salisbury, and they're able to contribute and knock it down. Shot goes up, they get the rebound. I love Jackson's work ethic down underneath. Jeremiah Jackson averaging 3.5 boards a game, doubling that right now.
Yeah, he's got 10 points in the basketball game to go along with his 3 rebounds, and there goes Harder. Dealing out Yoakum. Little inside-out work there, and the rebound, Jackson with rebound number 4, but they stole it. Yoakum!
Transition right there. They actually didn't see Yoakum sneaking from behind, and Yoakum able to knock it down.
Back to a 12-point lead. Zach Wyatt. Jackson. And a timeout called by Coach Wyatt over there. He could see that possession was going nowhere.
Yeah, great job. And once again, when you see stuff like that happening, you just got to call a timeout. And here's the foul. The possession down underneath. Yoakum sneaks out behind Jackson, not seeing him. And then when you come down to the opposite side, you just sometimes as a coach get a gut feeling, Neil, that things aren't going to go the right way. Let's get a timeout and let's stop it and reset and get ourselves into an offense. Jackson was double teamed down there and was going nowhere fast.
Yoakum got the layup, but blew a tire in the celebration, headed back.
You can't celebrate.
He's having a good game, 16 now.
Yeah, you can't celebrate yet. You still got a lot of work to do. We saw what Salisbury did coming out in the first 3.5 minutes of this quarter. Cut an 18-point deficit down to 12, and they still have opportunity. But, one of the points that we talked about, during our last break, where would this game be if Salisbury was knocking their free throws down? People talk about the importance of free throws, and it is evident right now where this game could be.
Well, to amplify your point, Billings is 14 of 18, and Salisbury is 4 of 12. Britt hanging and scoring, the 6'6" senior, averaging 9 points and over 5 rebounds a game.
Here comes that pressure once again by Salisbury.
They break it. Yoakum right wing out top to Essick. And he draws the foul way away from the bucket on Brady Francis. And Brady picks up his first personal foul, 1 and 1 time, and we're not done with the third quarter yet. And the guys that have been stroking it from the line, they're going to see a lot of trips to the free throw line before this one's over.
Yeah, this is going to be a free throw shooting contest right now, and when you put Billings to the line, especially Austin Essex, 73% shooter, he's going to knock him down and do a great job.
Austin averaging 20 points, over 8 rebounds a game on the season. After that miss, he's got 6 points in the ball game, so a little off of his average, but not in the rebound category. He's got 9 boards. And Britt is fouled as he takes the baseline. Foul's going to be on Chastain.
Baseline drive, tried to take it up strong, just got the reach in, foul down underneath, so it's going to be basketball for Salisbury down underneath trying to get that set play, and they sure do. What a great job in cutting to the basket by Austin Francis.
Chance Britt now with 6 points in the basketball game. Yoakum hangs, deals it way out top. And actually, that was Austin Francis. You said it right. 22 points in the game for Austin Francis off that little play in the inbound.
A little patience right now by Billings trying to get something, and there's a turnover steal.
Steal from behind, 3-on-1. There goes Jackson. Tipped up and the foul called as Brady Francis was the trailer.
You've got to make those layups, but you know what? If you don't, you know you've got the confidence that you've got one of your buddies right behind you, and that was the case right there. Here comes the inbounds once again. Great job off the set piece by Salisbury, but what they're doing even better, Neil, they're getting those second chance opportunities off the offensive boards.
And how about this guy? 6'1", a freshman, getting to play here in the state title game for Coach Wyatt. Brady also a wide receiver and a D-back on the football team. I imagine you're going to see the Francis to Francis connection between those two, with Austin being the quarterback.
Gotta love
as time goes on.
Love the football players getting out there and playing basketball, especially smaller schools too. See a lot of these kids playing both sports.
But misses 2 free throws here, and now they're 4 for 14 from the line. Lob it down low, out of bounds. Chastain had it go off. And he's now, that's the 18th turnover in the ball game versus 11 for Salisbury.
That's what these two teams will do to you. They love to up-tempo it, but you're going to see a lot of turnovers. It's not going to be pretty, but it's very effective when they do it the right way.
Zach Wyatt on the deck, comes away. Jackson for 3. It would have counted at the end of the third quarter. We have a good one going here in the state title game. They ate up about half of that 18-point lead. They did. 9-point lead now for Billings here at the end of 3. You're watching Show Me Showdown. Welcome back. That's how we got here, 52-43. Wildcats on top. Really turned up the heat in the third quarter, though, Jim.
One of the things we talked about right at the beginning of the half was you want to try to get this to single digits. You don't have to do it immediately. It's going to take some time, and sure enough, that's what they did. 22 points off turnovers for Salisbury, 18 turns for Billings. That is a great stat because that's how they got back into the game. And right here we go.
And that's the 11th turnover on Billings in the second half, and it ends in a bucket for Austin Wyatt.
Ran the transition well off the steal, able to get down. And here it comes again. Billings has got to settle down.
20 turnovers now. Austin Wyatt. Rebound, Essick gets it off to Chastain, and then he's fouled there by Brett. Oh, he traveled. I thought they were going for the foul. They call the travel, and it will stay down on this end with Salisbury.
Thought so as well, but they're going to keep it down here. And once again, we've seen some great set pieces run by Kenny Wyatt's Panthers. Let's see if they can do another one here and get another bucket.
Austin Wyatt on the right wing against Meyer. Back to Zach Wyatt. Short on the three. Three ball just has not been there for the Wyatt twins. Austin Wyatt has hit one. Zach has not hit one yet. Coast to coast goes Essick.
Essick getting back into the ball game. Turnover, and once again, Billings turning it up.
And tipped right back in there by Meyer. Austin Wyatt. Rebound, Chance Britt.
Absolutely love the second chance opportunities, and that's what Coach Tilley's told his kids. We got to box out.
Down low, Yoakum hanging in, scoring, and bonus time.
Traditional three-point play coming up, but once again, you get into that transition, you get down, and what a great job by Yoakum. I know you love watching this young man play. Kicks it out, baseline, dribble drive, takes it up strong, and knocks it down.
Yeah, Yoakum was 17 in the ball game, make it 18, averaging not quite 11 on the season, and from the line, he's 8 of 9. Picked from behind, and out of bounds will stay with Salisbury. I thought it might have gone off his foot out of bounds.
And that was Yoakum causing that. He came behind, hustling down the floor, came behind, just got a piece of the basketball.
I mean, you got to watch your wallet in this game, man. Everybody's picking at it from everywhere.
A little reaching, going at it.
Everybody's taking a flick when they go by.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, nice pass to Jackson from Chance Britt. And Jackson will go to the line.
Yeah, I love that pass, doing a great job. And, you know, great job by Jackson in seeing that and able to come down the lane. Great cut, coming up with the ball, takes it up strong. He's going to get fouled and go to the line for two. And that's exactly what we're going to see here. That's just a great cut by the senior.
And Jackson struggled a bit on the free throw line this season, 57%. And he's missed all 3 of his free throws here today, but he's had a nice ball game. 10 points in the game, 4 rebounds. And he's been part of that steal machine, especially here in the second half for Salisbury. Got the second one.
Making the free throws right there. You've got to make them when they count.
11-point lead for Billings. Near steal by Jackson. Harder. Oh, bobbered there by Chance Britt. Austin Wyatt. Zach Wyatt.
They're going to keep shooting it.
Get it down low. Austin Francis is fouled as he tried to take it to the other side. That foul on Billings, as both teams are in the 1-on-1 situation, and Austin Francis goes to the line.
I love how they're just continuing to shoot. They know they can knock them down eventually, and then they're shooting. And the great thing is, too, they know they've got the confidence of their teammates that they're going to be under the basket. They're going to get those second chance points. And perfect example, that last possession, but you've got to knock down your free throws.
Free throws are killing them. 5 of 17. And 1 of 15 from the 3-line. This team normally shoots much, much better than that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We saw the stat sheet, and we knew that they were a good free throw shooting team.
Oh, there's a capper by Chance Britt. but the redo on the putback by Meyer.
Great job, great work, and going after it down low. We talk a lot about Salisbury and their second chance opportunities. Billings making the most of their own.
Boy, Chance Britt playing inspired ball here in the second half. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
Like watching Chance Britt. He really does a great job. Nice play defensively, but once again, there to pick up the garbage is going to be Dawson Meyer. Coming down, it's going to be, Chance Britt, 9 points a game, 67% free throw shooter. Going to need him to continue stepping up big.
And the way he's played in the second half, we just call him second chance Britt.
Absolutely, he's doing some great things, free throws, and we've talked, this has been the storyline of this game. 16 to 21, 7 to 19. Correct, make that 8 of 20 right there.
Yeah, Chance got a couple for you there, though, on the free throw line. 8 of 20 in the game. A 10-point lead for Billings. They led by 18 at the half. And there's a steal going on Austin Francis. That's his third personal foul. Double bonus time as that's the 10th team foul on Salisbury.
Notice right there, Billings kind of pulled it out, waited for the right opportunity, try to extend that Salisbury defense, and had it on the dribble drive right there by Austin Wyatt.
Caleb Harder at the free throw line. And what's also snuck up on us, Harder has 4 fouls here in the ballgame, so he has to watch that the rest of the way, especially with the way he plays. It's 1 of 2 from the line. He's got 14 points.
Got to be careful with your Harder, but he's a smart basketball player. All these Billings kids, one of the things that Coach Chili said, we got a smart group of kids.
Austin Wyatt still struggling from the 3 line, but right there on the putback, Austin Francis, and he has 25 points right now. And again, it's something you harped on at the beginning of the game, Jim, and the fact that they're not stroking from outside to have the big fellas stepping up, that's been huge for them.
It absolutely has, and that's been the really good thing. And I think that's why the confidence level of the Wyatts, Zach Wyatt, to keep shooting the ball, because he knows he's going to have his brother. He's going to have Chance Britt down underneath. Guys that are going to be able to get those rebounds for you and put it back up and in. That's been the big reason they've gotten back into this ball game, is they've turned up the pressure. They've gotten points off of turnovers. But you know what? Second chance points have been huge for Salisbury. 24 of them, in fact, here in the game.
Well, and now 25 points and 11 rebounds, the double-double for Austin Francis, a guy that only scored 8 points and had 2 rebounds in the semifinals against Osceola. And that's because he played most of that game with foul trouble. He only played 11 minutes, so it's been great for them to have him back in full effect. He does have 3 fouls now with 5:08 left.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time. He's just got to keep, staying the course. And when you look at the foul trouble, you got Harder and Chastain with 4 each for Billings. But then you look over on the opposite side, Wyatt and Wyatt with 4, Austin Francis with 3, and Elijah Asbury with 3. So right now, the worst end of the stick goes to Salisbury. They got to keep their aggressiveness up, but you got to be smart when you do it.
They get it into Harder, and once again, Salisbury all over him, and a turnover. Austin Wyatt thought about the 3, steps in and dunks it in.
Great job.
Austin Francis.
Great job in attacking right there. Able to come up and just take it to the basket.
Austin Francis with 27 on a nice look from Austin Wyatt.
They actually didn't call a foul on that. They're basically saying that it was a kicked ball.
So nice look there from Austin to Austin, Wyatt to Francis. Essick going strong to the glass, and a foul on Chance Britt. That's his second personal foul.
Great job, Billings, right there. Essex taking it strong to the basket. And that's one thing, Neil, I know we were talking yesterday. You really like this young man's first step. He's able to take it and get to the basket quick. And one of the good things, too, he was an all-state player last year for Billings. Also, he's a tremendous baseball player, too. And Coach Tilley wanted us to know that, hey, this kid can play, some great baseball and look to possibly go play at the next level baseball-wise.
Yeah, he's a catcher on the baseball team and an outstanding one, and hits 2 free throws here. And he has a double-double, 10 points, 12 rebounds out of a 6-footer. There goes Austin Francis flying to the rim.
He left his feet about 5 feet outside of the lane and just floated in the air. What a great player this young man is for Salisbury.
And there goes Essick, contact, no call. Oh, now there is a call. And they're going to call a block on Chance Britt.
Here they come in transition. Essex with it, takes it up. Going to go, they're going to get the foul underneath right there on that. And going to go to the line and shoot the double bonus.
The lead is 7 for Billings. And to the line, this is Lane Truman, 6'2" junior for Coach Kendall Tilley.
Truman doesn't get a lot of playing time, but when he does, he makes the most of it. Truman, 2 points a game. He's a 46% free throw shooter, though. These are going to be key free throws. One thing, if you're Salisbury, and this is the thing that I've loved about watching them play, they don't quit. You know, they got down 18 points in the first half, and they just haven't given up. They've just done their business and keep doing what they're doing defensively.
Oh, he gets the friendly roll there for his first point of the ball game. Did not score in the semifinals. Lane Truman had a rebound in 4 minutes, but stepping to the line in a key situation here. Also plays on the baseball team, misses the second. Eli Asbury runs down the rebound. 8-point ball game. Billings on top. Austin Wyatt. Short again. Jackson on the weak side. Glass.
Jackson is just that go-to kid, 5'11". You don't expect a 5'11" kid to work hard in the block. My man is just getting it done.
6 rebounds for Jackson at 5'11". And here's Essick getting it away quickly before he got the trap put on it. Yoakum dumping it off inside, the miss by Truman, the putback Meyer.
Doing a great job, and you expect that. Billings can pull it out, they're up. They can afford to pull it out. They got to make Salisbury come out and pressure them.
Austin Wyatt, Austin Francis, and one!
You talk about kids stepping up on the big stage. This young man has flat out gotten it done tonight. Look at this, pass, shot, puts it up strong, gets fouled. He's going to go to the line for the traditional three-point play. That's playing big in the biggest stage in the state of Missouri, the state championship game.
31-11 in the ball game here for Austin Francis. Missing the free throw, though. And again, the good pass from Austin Wyatt to Austin Francis. We've said that a few times here.
Billings going to pull it out and play keep away.
3:16 left, 6-point ball game. Essick will go to the free throw line. How tough is that for a team that just goes up and down, puts points on the scoreboard, shoots it fast, to pull the ball out and try to milk a little bit to get this one to the clubhouse when there's 3:16 left?
Very tough. You've got that mentality to where we're going to keep going. It's the pedal to the metal. And as a coach, you know that you've got to pull it out. You just hope your kids can respond. And that's a great job right there by Essex in responding, knocking down the free throws. But it's very tough when you play that high-speed game.
Need to hit your free throws. Essick did it there. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Show Me Showdown, Class 2 Boys Championship game.
Agents, what did we learn here today?
That lint balls are extremely flammable.
Well, yeah.
And that 15,000 dryer fires happen every year.
That's why it's important to regularly clean and inspect your vents.
Correct.
Where did you get that?
I built it.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum.
This Misha State Championship game is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Well, partner, this has been a fun ball game.
Yeah,
we've seen a little everything, haven't we?
We knew it was going to be a great one, and we've seen it all, and it did not disappoint, and it's been exactly what we've expected.
Salisbury has really shot it well in the second half, about 50% after not shooting it well in the first half. The three line has still been difficult, as well as the free throw line, but they're dumping it inside and getting points like that from Eli Asbury.
Eli Asbury doing a great job, averaging 5.5 a game coming in. He's stepped up big. It's a 6-point game, still a lot of time. Billings going to pull it out and play keep away.
Yeah, with these two teams, 2:45 is a lifetime to go here in the state title game, and neither team has ever won the state title.
Looking for that very first state trophy for the trophy case.
Essick doing a cone drill and coming back out of it. Salisbury extending the defense and coming away with a steal. Eli Asbury got a hand, but they stole it right back. Chastain got a hand. Yoakum 1-on-2, and the 6'6" Asbury blocked it.
Asbury doing a great job. Got back and got his hands up and played big.
Austin Wyatt scores it in the lane. It is a 4-point ball game, 2:03 left in the title game.
You asked me a little bit ago about how tough is it to pull back, to pull the reins back and, try to do things that you don't do. And right there you see it. You get the turnover. You get Salisbury coming down in transition. Great job in the dump pass and coming up with the shot. They cut it to 4. But if I'm Coach Tilley, this is just me, and that's why I'm sitting here, and he's over there coaching a state championship game. We're going back to what got us here. You go to the dance with what brought you there, and that's up-tempo, attacking the basket. We've noticed since they pulled it out the last couple minutes and played keep away, they haven't gotten the looks that they want. Sure, Salisbury's got to come and look the foul, but when you get a couple great defensive sequences like Salisbury did, you got the confidence that you can continue to do it. What you got to do with Billings, you got to go back to what got you there. Let your kids play. Take the reins off. I know as a coach it's tough, but that's what you got to do right now with only a 4-point lead.
And you don't think these two schools have some great fan support here at the tournament?
This is awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic. Cheering their teams on. Harder through the defense. Jumped up with no place to go. But found a friend in the backcourt. Got to watch out for the 10-second count. Here's Meyer on the sideline. Going to the rim. And a foul as he takes it in.
Attacking the basket. Great job. Able to break the press. But you see now, it just seems like maybe they may go at it just a little bit more instead of pulling out and holding.
And these guys that have been going to the line, all better than 70% shooters on the season from the free throw line, and they've been knocking them down. That is now 23 of 30 on the night for Billings and Coach Tilley.
Once again, you hate to beat the dead horse, but picture this game as Salisbury knocks down a few more free throws, and that's exactly where it's at right now.
19 points in the ball game, and a turnover. 19 for Meyer. That one's turned over right in front of the Billings bench.
Coach Wyatt going to do a little offense-defensive switch out right now, and you see a lot of coaches love to do that. Here's the turnover. Ball's going to come over, going to be tipped out of bounds, and went out of bounds off of Salisbury.
Well, if you're going to foul a few times, you need to get some guys out there, and here come the Wyatt twins back in the ballgame. Those guys playing with a little bit of foul trouble. And so you get some other guys in there to foul, play the offense-defense game, and here's Chastain at the line. Missing the first 4 of 8 for Chastain in the ball game.
Salisbury, before that last possession, they've scored on 11 of their last 13 possessions. That says a lot, Neil.
Chastain missing 2 here, and Britt the rebound. And then a turnover.
Just turned around, just nonchalantly threw it, and just tossed it over the head of Jackson.
or as we call it, an unforced error.
Yeah, unforced errors are not good this late in the ball game.
Yeah, 1:42 left. 6-point lead for Billings into the backcourt. Yoakum is tackled there by Francis. So Yoakum back to the line. He's 8 of 9. And again, the disparity at the free throw line. 24 of 33 now for Billings. Make it 25 of 34. 8 of 21 from the line for Coach Wyatt and his Salisbury team.
Well, you see, it's the free throw disparity, but the other thing, too, Neil, is three-point shooting. 1 of 17 for Salisbury on the day. Yesterday, they were 5 of 12 in the semifinal. That's a big thing for a Salisbury team that loves to shoot from beyond the arc.
No question. And actually, Billings really cooled off after their hot start from the three line. They hit 5 early threes, but that's all they've made. They're now 5 of 15 in the game.
But they've done the other things that you like to see them do. Yeah, we know they can shoot from the outside, but they got Essex into the mix. They got Harder into the mix, and they're doing a lot of that dribble drive. We're going to get it in, kick it, get those mid-range jumpers, and they've done a fantastic job in knocking down those jumpers, especially in a pressure-packed game like we've got here.
It was an 18-point game at halftime. Billings on top, 41-23. Salisbury turns up the heat in the third quarter. They come back to within 4 just moments ago. Lead back out to 8 right now. We've got 1:40 to play. And let's see what happens. Billings still putting some pressure on here. A little token pressure, more like. In the gym?
No problem with that, but you've got to make it something happen. And right there, they're able to get the missed field goal.
Yeah, Britt had a good look after they got it up the floor, and then the foul on Salisbury, and it's going to be Chastain going back to the line. He's the guy that struggled a little bit from the line for Billings, 4 out of 9 here in the ballgame.
You see the team leader, Austin Essex, walking up with him, puts his arm around and say, you know what, man? Knock these down. We're a little bit closer to that prize of the state championship. Let's get this thing done. And that's what Austin Essex is for Billings. Just a great leader.
Short again at the free throw line. Now 4 of 10. Harder, the senior, 14 on this team. Also a senior there is Janish on the bench, wearing 22. But all these other guys are coming back. Salisbury, kind of the same situation. Jackson's a senior, but most everybody else coming back. I guess Chance Britt is also a senior. Here's Wyatt. Austin Wyatt short. Rebound Meyer. And he's tackled in the lane by Austin Wyatt. And that is foul number 5 on Austin.
Great job. Kids, working hard. Shot goes up. Long rebound. Getting in for the foul. The kids just doing what they need to do. Nothing bad about that. But young man fouling out has just had a phenomenal game. As Austin Wyatt kept under wraps in the first half, come out able to get 7 points in the ball game. But what a great young man he is, and what a great player he's going to be for the Panthers.
Well, 1 out of 9 from the 3 line, and he's coming off of games where he just blew up out there. I mean, Austin Wyatt was 5 of 7 from the 3 line last ball game in the semifinals, and he hit 4 in the first half.
Well, he's got 46 threes coming into the state Final Four, and add the 5, nearly 50, over 50 on the year. You expect him to knock him down, and guess what? You hate to have a cold shooting day in the state championship game, but with Austin, that's kind of what happened today.
21 points in the ball game now for Dawson Meyer. Oh, there's a deep 3 ball by Brady Francis. As Brady says, don't go away on the Panthers yet.
Brady Francis, it looks like that may have been his first 3 of the year.
And seventh.
So, but boy, I tell you what, sitting deep and just strokes it from, as you said earlier, the parking lot, because that was a deep 3 for him.
2 of 19 now in the ballgame for Salisbury. Hey, we're only in game 2 today, buddy. We're going to stay after this.
We got the marathon, man.
How fun is it? Every one of these are for the state title coming up. We got this next game. Now, you're sticking around for this game, aren't you?
I'll stick around. I'll be here for the Eminence Walnut Grove game with our good friend Corey Riggs, and then you and the coach. will come in for what's going to be a tremendous game. Drexel and Scott County Central. Mount Vernon and Stockton on the girls' side is going to be a lot of fun.
And you and me are closing time, right?
We're closing time tonight, brother. Charleston.
Late night with us.
Baby, that's going to be a great game. We talked to both those coaches, and that nightcap tonight is going to be probably, we've had a great game here. That one tonight is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Hogan Prep and Charleston. Hogan Prep looking for back-to-back state championships.
Foul in the backcourt. This one going against Salisbury. That's on Springer. And when you say nightcap, I know it's not right away. You know, we kind of stay for the final, right?
Well,
we go all the way to the end.
St. Patrick's Day is there's nothing better than hoops. You know, we saw the 2-5, we saw the 2-15 matchups go down yesterday, and this is what it's all about. St. Patrick's Day weekend here in the state of Missouri. A lot of great basketball, the NCAAs, and state championship Saturday, and they started doing it this format, Neil, a couple years ago. We played the Thursday games over in the old barn across the way, the Hearn Center, and set it up to where Saturday was championship Saturday. And I tell you what, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, that was fun getting to go over to the Hearn Center and watch a few games. Oh, right to work goes Brady Francis, and then a foul down low on Billings. And I know at this point, with a 10-point lead, Coach Tilley not wanting to put too many guys on the free throw line, stop the clock, and let the other team score points. But, hey, there's still a lot of time left in this ball game. If he knocks down a couple free throws, 8-point game, still a minute left.
Yeah, Chastain's going to foul out of the ball game, and they're going to put the other senior back in, Connor Jenish, after sitting for a little bit after that injury midway through the third quarter. But, yeah, knock down these free throws. You still got chance. You still got opportunity.
Chastain fouls out with 8 points. He had 15 in the semifinals. Nice looking stroke out of Brady Francis that time. Just a freshman. And he was only 47% coming into the Final Four from the line, but he shot him like he knew it that time. Up the sideline comes Yoakum. And he's fouled, and Yoakum 12 out of 13 from the line tonight.
And that man can shoot a little bit out there. He does a great job, Yoakum, on the year, coming down and averaging 77% from the line. Just a calming force out there, and he's been a fun player to watch here this weekend.
Missing the first one here in the ball game. He has 22 to lead the way. Meyer has 21. And once again, these guys we rattle off. Harder is a senior. Jenish is a senior. But Meyer's a sophomore. Yoakum is a junior. Essick is a junior. Chastain is a junior. These two teams may go at it again next season.
It's a bright future for both these ball clubs, without any doubt.
Wyatt dumps it off. Shot a little bit too strong there by Lane Springer. Yoakum hooks a pass that's caught by Springer. Wyatt for three. It's short. Rebound Essick. And a foul down low. And I think it's on Essick.
Yeah, they're going to get Essick for the push on the rebound, and that's going to put Salisbury to the line. You cannot do that. You're still up 9, but you got to be smart when you get in and try to get position on rebounds.
Second foul on Essick, but this guy at the line has 32 points and 12 rebounds, and he has shot it 14 of 19 from the floor today. 33 for Austin Francis, and they steal it. And going back to the line is his brother Brady. So the Francis brothers turning it up a little bit over the last minute or so.
No fight out of either one of these ball clubs. I mean, they're getting after it. Salisbury, they're not going to go away lying down. They knocked down a few more free throws. This gets very interesting very quickly. The only key, though, Salisbury is out of timeouts. So they don't have the luxury to get a timeout after a bucket.
How about the freshmen stroking them home in the title game?
On the big stage, the freshmen just doing a fantastic job.
4 straight free throws after a big 3 ball a little bit earlier. Oh, they grab a steal. Here's Austin Francis, and one!
Wow! Are you kidding me? What a great job just getting the turnover, able to put it in, and here's where we're going to see it. They get it in quickly, but they're able to come up with it. They get the steal, comes up with it, takes it in, takes it to the rack hard, gets the foul, and Coach Tilley wants to get a timeout. He doesn't like what he sees.
And now Harder fouls out of the ball game. So one of their key ball handlers is gone. Chastain is fouled out. And now 35 for Austin Francis, shooting 15 of 20, 12 rebounds, and he's looking for more, the old-fashioned three-point play here.
Yeah, and you get this three-point play. Guess what? It is now, well, we're at a one-possession game as it is. Now you don't need the three. You got to play defense. You don't need the foul right now initially. Play defense. Once they cross half court, then you may look to foul. But you know what? Get that pressure. What's gotten you to this point to where you've taken an 18-point deficit to 3? You've played defense in the full court. Get up in their shorts, play defense. If they cross half court, then we get the quick foul.
They've stolen it 16 times in the ball game, has Salisbury. Billings has turned it over 26 times. But it's been this guy, finishing at the rim, 15 of 20 from the field, 5 of 9 from the line, and 35 points for the game. Cannot get the roll. Rebound taken away by Essick. Squeezes through the defense, and the chase is on for the foul by Brady Francis.
I don't know if I would have fouled right there. I know you want to leave some time, but you still got to make them. You had a double team set up on the sideline. Let's see if you can get the 10-second call. If not, then you get the quick foul in the half court.
And now Brady Francis has fouled out. What a job he did over the last couple of minutes with 7 points. He hit that big, long three ball that got him going and then hit 4 straight free throws. We'll see that guy for the next 3 seasons after this.
Yeah, that was the start of the run, and then he able to knock down some key free throws, doing a nice job. Like we talked about the future being bright for Billings. I love some of these young kids that are coming back for Salisbury.
Austin Essick at the line, 6 feet, the junior. He has 14 rebounds in the game. 13 points, 14 rebounds.
Sitting here watching Coach Tilley over on the far side, and he's looking up at the scoreboard. He cannot watch the action on the floor right now.
24.8 seconds left. Austin Essick burying the free throws. 14 points. Here's Springer. Up over the top. Can't get the roll. There's Jackson. To the deck, Springer. Knocked out of bounds. And it will stay with Salisbury.
Salisbury working hard, trying to get some opportunity. It's a 2-possession game. You could go for the 3 right now, but you could also get the quick 2 off the set piece.
Toss it out to Springer. Let's fly the 3. It's short. Rebound taken away by Yoakum with 6.2 left and a 5-point Billings lead.
6 seconds left. A lot of it could happen. You've at least got to knock down the first one to make it a 2 big possession game.
And to the line, Chad Yoakum, another 6 feet junior. Now 24 points in the ball game.
We knew this was going to be a great game, and we were going to see some great young men step up on the big stage, and none of these kids have disappointed. And you got to give a lot of credit to Salisbury and Kenny Wyatt and keeping his kids focused and getting them right back into the game.
Yoakum with 25. He's also got a double-double, 25 and 10. And 15 of 17 from the line. 36 of 47 from the line for Billings. Springer for 3. It goes, but that's the ball game. And Billings, the Wildcats, have won their first state title here at Mizzou Arena.
Outstanding job by both teams.
So the final score in this one, Billings 83 and Salisbury 79. And did these two teams give us an exciting game or what? I mean, it was an 18-point game at halftime after Billings bolted out with that early barrage of 3 balls. But then in the second half, they turned up the heat, Salisbury did, and got right back in the game.
That's exactly what got them back in the game. They broke it down. They did what they needed to do. They did everything to get it to a 4-point game. They got to 1 possession, just ran out of gas a little bit there in the tail end, and got some foul trouble as well. But, Salisbury, outstanding job. Did a great thing in starting early and then at the end. But you know what? They hit 4 3-pointers to start the game. They never trailed once that happened after they knocked down those 3-pointers. And that says a lot about Billings. And what a great program that they've got. Coach Tilley and his staff. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch here over the next couple years with a lot of these youngsters.
You saw Coach Tilley hugging some of the players. How about the guys that put in the performances? Meyer and Yoakum and Essick, and they did it from the free throw line. And they turned it over a lot, but hung in there enough and hit those free throws down the stretch to win their first state title.
They weathered the storm. They did what they needed to do. Fundamentals came into place. Free throw shooting was the big thing, and you know what? That's what it's all about in the big stage here in Columbia, Mizzou Arena. Great game. Congratulations to Billings.
The Class 2 Boys State Championship trophy now resides in Billings, Missouri, as the Wildcats, 29-3, win the ball game here today over Salisbury. Congratulations to the Panthers on a great season. They finished 30-2. The final, Billings wins it 83-79 over Salisbury, and the Wildcats are state champions at Show Me Showdown.
That'll never happen.
I'll never wreck my car.
I'll never roll my truck. Never happen to me. Never. Never. Never.
Never happened to me.
7 out of 10 teenagers killed in Missouri traffic crashes were not wearing their seatbelts.
Never say never. Always buckle up.
Easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Distracted driving. It accounts for 25% of car crashes. Music, cell phones, food, the list goes on.
This is why safe driving is so important.
Correct.
And it's why the best agents help safe drivers get a lower rate.
Exactly.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum.
Ears, check. Sunglasses, check. Seatbelt, check. What are you doing? I don't wear my seatbelt. Oh yeah, because only cool people will wear their seatbelts. I'm cool. Check.
Missouri State High School Activities Association Show Me Showdown continues on this St. Patrick's Day Saturday. It's now time for the Class 1 Girls State Championship game between the Eminence Red Wings and the Walnut Grove Lady Tigers. Hello and welcome back courtside, everybody, on this spectacular Saturday. I'm Corey Riggs, glad to be back out here with you. What a fantastic finish to that Class 2 boys game. But as we're getting ready to